All right, so here we are on one of the historic rail trails here in beautiful mountainous Pennsylvania. And I wanted to have the conversation with you about knives. We got to have the knife talk. You know, at a certain age, we all have to learn. So, my solution is a two-knife solution. That's what it is, really. Because there is no one right answer for a survival knife. Whenever you gain in one area, you must lose in another. And this is the ongoing frustration and challenge when it comes to knife design. Now, what do I carry? I carry this. It's a Becker BK7. I'm not endorsing them. I'm not saying you should get one. I'm saying this is the knife that fits me. This knife is the right geometry. It's the right length. It has the right handle feel. It has the right thickness. It has it just has everything that I like in a survival knife. All the things that my years of experience have taught me that I want or need are pretty much right here. Now, what are those things? We're talking about chopping, we're talking about processing game, we're talking about batoning, we're talking about heavy tasks when we're talking about a survival knife. So I want a knife that is built heavy for that purpose. And when you look at the Becker BK7, I mean, you must take your hat off to this engineering, because as soon as I saw this knife, I wanted it. You could see this beautiful upsweep clip to a higher point, really, than the rest of the spine of the blade. And then it comes up to this very sharp, almost like a shark body type of design. And when I saw it, I immediately knew why. Because when you hold a knife and you are batoning with a stick, this is exactly the point where you hit. And so they made that a wider, more reinforced and stronger part of the knife without compromising anything else. Then they sweep it back, and before it gets to the tang, which is also going to be a vulnerable area, they build this big shock absorber into it, which is just wonderful. So I use this knife for batoning, and you go right through wood. It's the next best thing to an axe. When it comes to chopping things, cutting through brush, processing large game, this is the knife I want in my hand. It also has a sheath that doesn't come from this knife, which I'll cover in another video. But for now, that's what I carry. That's my go out in the woods survival knife, the Becker BK7. However, it is not the only knife that I carry with me, as you can plainly see. I carry this little guy. This is the cold steel, what do they call this? The hideout. The cold steel hideout. And it's a little double-edged dagger with a very simple grip. Very simple, very small knife with a little sheath that you can wear around your neck. This is my system. If I want to go out in the woods, this is what I'm carrying. I'm not just carrying one knife, I'm going to carry two. And the reason is this. This is great for big jobs. But what if you need to skin a squirrel? This is not going to help you. You're going to make a mess. You're not going to be able to sit there and do little tiny cuts or something on small game with this knife. It just simply isn't good for small tasks. So why try? Why try to fit all that into one knife? It doesn't matter, right? So I carry this little guy that I use for all my little tasks. This is all for my little chore stuff. I need to skin a squirrel, or I need to cut some cordage or whatever. I'm not pulling this guy out. This is for big stuff. This handles all my little everyday things. This is the knife, the smallest, but it gets used by far the most of either of the two knives that I carry. And so you can see that the real solution is not to try to put it all into one knife, but put it into two. You have a knife for large jobs and a knife for the small everyday tasks. Now, whether that choice for you is a Mar knife or maybe a cold steel. There's another one that I have, which is the Tokyo Spike, and it has a neck sheath. And that's what I like. I like a neck sheath and a belt sheath together. So that way I have a knife that I can grab at any moment, and I have the one that's going to fit the purpose. I don't have to look for them, and I don't have to make do with what I have. I can just simply carry what I need very easily, and it becomes an extremely efficient process. So when you're considering knives, I'd like you to consider knives in the 2-knife system: big jobs and little jobs. No matter what those 2 knives are, if you put them together, I guarantee that it will enhance your odds and success of survival. This is Silver Fox Survival saying thank you for joining us. We'll see you again. Go check us out on our Etsy store and check out our knives fresh off the workshop bench. Okay? Silver Fox Survival on Etsy.com. Thank you. See you again.